ready to go. So first of all, thank you so much for attending our 4th annual Cardinal Connect breakfast. This is probably one of our favorite events that we do each year. It's such a great opportunity for us to have our community partners, our staff, but also our students, just with our community together. Because this is really what it's about. It's the impact that you guys are collectively having on the future of our community and our area. So, I have a presentation. It is roughly, maybe like 25 slides. It'll be okay. It'll be a good one. A lot of them I click through, but if you guys have been through my presentations, they're a little bit, but they'll go quick, and then we're gonna get on to our awards, where we are gonna be honoring 4 business partners, and we're really excited to talk about those as well. So the first thing that we're starting with a little bit, every year when I write this speech a little bit, I kind of think back, reflect. I mean, there's only so many ways to skin a cat, guys, you know. So I kind of got to think through this a little bit. And I was actually yesterday, I was reading a book, and there was a quote that really stuck out in my mind and really kind of honed in on what we're doing in our community. And that quote is, it's ask the right questions and you will find the answers. And it really got me thinking about, are we asking the right questions? Are we trying to figure out the right things? And so the first one, if you've been to any of my presentations, I always talk about, why are we doing this? So one of the best questions to ask is, why does this matter? Why are we so focused on community partnerships, on career tech education? And we know that the reason for that is because we know the biggest asset in the state of Ohio is us, our people. It's our students. It's our adults. It's our workforce. All of us, we are what makes Ohio great, and we are what's going to make Ohio great. And we know that in order to do that, we need to invest in us, in the people. And one of the ways that we do that is through career tech education. And this is a quote that I found that I thought was really interesting. So one of the things is, we talk about education, there's pendulums that go back and forth, and things go one way and then they come back the other. Something's in fashion one year, 5 years later it's not. And one of the things that's really on the forefront right now is career tech education, right? Like suddenly now in 2025, we figured it out. But in reality, has this always kind of been the thought, and we just kind of forgot to ask those questions and to remember what we're doing? This quote up here is from 59 years ago, okay? And this is from Henry Lamuth, who is actually the first superintendent of the first career center in the state of Ohio, which happens to be Auburn Career Center, you know, just 10 minutes down the road. But this quote was from the actual opening of the building of the first career center in the state of Ohio. And he talked about it at the dedication, and he said, the primary purpose of career tech education is to help give definitive purpose and meaning to education by relating to its occupational goals. And while it will provide the knowledge and work skills necessary for employment, it will also be more inclusive than training for job skills. It will develop the abilities, attitudes, work habits, and appreciations which contribute to a satisfying and productive life. And when I read that, I was like, this still rings true. This is literally exactly what we're trying to do. It's what all of us in this room are doing. It's to find purpose and meaning of our lives. And one way we can do that is finding an occupation and building a training to getting into a career. And so that's one of the reasons we start with why, is it's to train our personnel, our people, but also to give them a fulfilling life, a purpose. And the other part is because it works. So one of the things we talk about is we talk about key performance indicators, or KPIs, right? And the reason we're so fixated on career tech is 59 years later, it is the best way for our students to figure out what they want to do and get into their future careers. Students that participated in a career tech education program at Mentor have a 99% post-program placement. And what that means is it means within 6 months of graduating from Mentor High School, 99% of our students who participate in a program are either employed, enrolled in a 2-year or 4-year institution, or enlisted in the military. So it works. So those are good questions to ask. But then I also say, really started to think deeply about what are those right questions? Because one of the things many of you, almost all of you in here, have heard me up here and I'm banging the drum and I'm like, we're crushing it at Mentor. Look at these percentages, what we're getting at. I always talk about the percentages of kids that are in career tech education, right? I always focus on that. But what if that's not the right question? What if the question that we in this room need to be asking is, what percentage of kids are not being given the opportunity to have access to career tech education? And so I look at some stats, ran some numbers. And so this first one is from 2020, Lakeshore Compact. That's Mentor, Euclid, Wycliffe schools. We provide the career tech education programs. If we filled in 2020 every seat of every program we've had, so every seat was full, 64% of our 11th and 12th graders of all 3 of those districts would not be able to participate in career tech education. There's no room, right? And so it's easy for us to be like, okay, I see that. But sometimes we always wonder, like, is this an anomaly? Is this like a Mentor problem? Is this a Wycliffe problem? So let's look around. Here's Auburn Career Center. So again, I'm looking at the best in Northeast Ohio, some of our best career tech planning districts. And Auburn Career Center is amazing. But look at their stats. This current year right now, if they filled every program they had, every seat was filled, kids are literally sitting next to the window, they don't even have a chair, 65% of their 10-member districts of 11th and 12th grade students can still not access career tech education. 65%. And let's go to another one that's hitting home runs, which is Excel Tech. And so if you guys know Excel Tech, they're Mayfield, Willoughby, Solon, Aurora, Beechwood, a variety of districts. If they fill this year right now every one of their programs for career tech education, 3 out of 4 kids that are juniors and seniors in those districts cannot participate in career tech education. That's the right question, right? And so I look at those. Not an anomaly, right? 64, 65, 76. This is a pattern. So now we have to ask the next question, the next right question, which is, how do we solve this? How do we fix this? And we know we have to do it through capacity building, which is what we've been doing, right? Which is what all of us have been doing in our sectors to rapidly expand and scale the opportunities we provide for our students, to allow more of them to have access to this. Now, if we're going to do that, we have to make sure, so again, when you talk about asking the right questions, one of the main ones, one of the important ones is, where do we want to get to, right? One of the big things we talk about, beginning with the end in mind. If you don't know where you want to get to, how do you know when you get there? It's one of the biggest problems I see consistently in organizations, is if you don't have a definitive goal and a strategic plan for where you're trying to get to, you won't know if you hit your mark. How do you evaluate it? And so we did that at Mentor Schools. We spent 12 months over the last year working through our framework for the future, our strategic plan. And within that, we talked with thousands of individuals in the community, parents, students, staff members, all of our stakeholders, to make sure we heard where do they want our end to be? Where do they want our end goal to be? And they were very direct and very specific in what they wanted. And they specifically said, we want more college and career exposure. We want more career pathways, and we want more access to college opportunities. And once we have that in mind, well, now comes the next question. How? How do we get there? And so we knew that we can't do this alone. We know that we needed to have a shift in how we were educating students. And so we went ahead and we looked at how can we be more innovative, be more collaborative, and be more focused and purposeful on our expansions. And so results. So this is where, so a lot of times, when I do my speeches, I'll repeat a little bit some of these because I think it's important to keep providing the progress we're making and where are we actually getting to where we're trying to go. And so the first one was some of these innovative approaches we've been doing the last several years. So we have our Mentor Fire EMT Academy, so we can provide more public safety. We have our CTE College Credit Plus expansion. So when you talk about having over 64% of our students not have access to career tech education, we cannot do that lift ourselves. We're no different than any business. We can't just add 25 teachers. That's not an option. So we got to say, how do we leverage our partnerships, right? So working with Lakeland to add those programs. We have our Classic Automotive Training Center. Jim Hawk's in the back there, Director of Service for Classic, and helping us utilize their resources and leverage their expertise to provide that. And then also our biggest initiative that we've had in the last 9 to 10 months, which is our Mentor Career Academies. So our Mentor Career Academies, last year at this speech, we talked about it. We were doing some one-year career academies. We implemented 3 or 4 new one-year academies. Well, after our strategic plan came out, we doubled down and we said, let's do it all. So we went ahead and in a very short period of time, we've undertaken the largest career tech education expansion in the history of Mentor schools. We now have 12 two-year academies and 12 one-year academies for students to participate in. That's through a combination of our partnerships. Several of those academies are through Lakeland Community College. We have one that's through Lake Erie College. And again, leveraging the resources we have. We also last year, we received, right around this time, it was about a month into when we received a grant for $2.2 million from the state of Ohio to expand and renovate the facilities we have at Mentor schools. And in roughly 4 weeks from now, we are going to undergo one of the biggest renovation projects that we've had in the history of Mentor schools for career tech education. We're going to be renovating our cybersecurity, IT, construction, culinary, and then also outside of that grant, our sports medicine program that we're going to be talking about a little bit later. Now, we've kind of talked a lot about that, about stuff we've been doing internally, but the biggest thing, and I touched base on it, is the partnerships. Ultimately, our plan is to ensure that we are expanding career exploration for K through 12. So in order for us to do that, we cannot do that alone. But we also knew in order to scale it, we need buy-in from the community and we need support from the community. And so the last several years, we reinvented Cardinal Connect, our business advisory council, and it has grown exponentially. And it is now one of the state-recognized leaders in business advisory councils. Just last month, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce recognized our BAC. So last round, if you guys remember, sometimes their star system's it's a little confusing. So last year, we were a 2-star, which sounded bad, but it was good. Now this year, we're a 3-star business advisory, which is great as well. And to put this in context of what we're doing is that we are one of only 9 individual school districts in the state that are recognized for this award. So everybody else kind of do it through educational service centers or different areas. We're one of 9 districts doing it with our community. It's such a testament. But so as we talk about this, I said, hey guys, we reached out to the BAC. We said, we got to ramp this up. If we're going to kick it into all of these grades, we need to build capacity, not just in our programs, but in our experiences for our kids. And so about a month ago, we sent out a survey to our community. We sent it through the chamber, we sent it through our social media channels, and we said, we need you to tell us, how do you want to partner and what are you willing to do? And the response has been amazing. We have had in less than 4 weeks over 50 responses from local businesses agreeing to partner with us in a variety of ways, from site visits to speaker series to internships. They are willing to partner with Mentor Schools and help address the need we have for our students. We're talking about places like university hospitals, Cleveland Clinic, Steris, Swagelock, Component Repair Technologies. Some of the biggest companies we have in Ohio right here in Northeast Ohio and Mentor are partnering with us to help our students. Okay. And so increase then collab, so that's a big one. So we talk about our partnerships. Then we're going to talk about our increased collaboration with the College Credit Plus and Career Tech Education, CCP. You know, we have Lakeland's here today, and Dr. Ahuja and Dr. Collis, and even one of their board of trustees, Deanna Elsing and Luciat. What we have done with our partnership with Lakeland is nothing short of amazing. And it is a true testament to what we can accomplish when we work together. And so a lot of times I'm a big data person, right? Because everybody will say things are great. What does great mean? Is great, how do we quantify great? Well, let's look at some stats. So I'm big into key performance indicators, KPIs. So these are some stats from this year alone. This isn't 10 years, 5 years, 2 years. This is 1 year. This past year, we had our Mentor School students, they attempted over 3,358 college credits through Lakeland Community College. We have, actually, things move so fast. I have on here 33 college credits are offered on our campus right now. But as I say that, Dr. Collis and myself collaborated on a project just a couple weeks ago, and we already have students signing up for our new Law and Legal Studies Academy. So we are actually up to now 39 college credits that are on Mentor's campus, so students do not even have to leave. Our participation, which was a record, the highest number of high school students participating in College Credit Plus in the history of Mentor Schools. This fall we had 326 students. And then probably one of the bigger numbers is 0 right there, and that is the number of failures of students who participated in College Credit Plus in a class that took place on our campus. So who knew? If you have classes in person, you bring them here and we provide the supports, we set the kids up to succeed. And then, so these numbers are great. This is the number that really resonates with me, and I think it probably resonates the most with families, and I would probably say it's the key performance indicator, is cost savings. This is the cost savings for our families in the city of Mentor, and that is the equivalent of $1,414,000. That's the equivalent of a 4-year college tuition equivalent. So essentially it's whoa, Joe, are you just pulling these numbers out? Are you just making this up? That's a very specific number. It's very easy. All we do is the state of Ohio, they average the cost of the 4-year universities. What is an average of the college credit? It's about $421 right now, the average 4-year. Now that being said, I've looked, and Ohio State is not $421 a credit. But that being said, average that by the number of credits that were attempted by our students, and you come up with those funds. I mean, that is amazing. And then we look at our return on investment, our ROI, right? This current fall right now, we had over 27% of our students, of juniors and seniors, participate in College Credit Plus. So 1 out of 3, almost essentially, of juniors and seniors are taking at least one college credit with Lakeland Community College. 43% of our juniors and seniors are taking some form of career tech education. And then 30% of our students are taking advanced placement, AP courses. And then one of the things we look at, again, talking about data, looking at it through different lenses, is the idea of future-focused programming. And right now, 78% of our juniors and seniors are enrolled in some form of future-focused programming, whether that's College Credit Plus, Career Tech Education, or AP. So while that is not perfect and it's not 100%, we are making a difference. So ask the right questions and you will find the answers. One of the biggest questions is, we do all these things, we try all these initiatives, and they sound great, and they're good posts on social media, and it's good in the News Herald if you get the News Herald still, but the question becomes, are we actually getting where we want to get to? And this is the data that is really exciting. So when I look at data, it's really just a snapshot at one point in time. So what we looked at was we compared our career tech education acceptance rates. Round one, not like continual. We said what round one last year, what's round one this year. In 1 year, we went from 64% of our applicants being placed to this past year, 87% of our applicants were placed. We went from 57% of students getting their first choice to now we are up to 80% of our students getting their first choice. And then we went from 16% of the entire 10th grade class being waitlisted, which is something that we talk a lot about, the wait list. These past few years, I've been really hammering in on that. To this current year, 4% of our students were waitlisted. We had that big of a reduction, a 75% reduction in 1 year. And so I feel that as we continue to look at that data, we have to continue to make sure that we are asking those right questions. But ultimately, it's us in the room that are going to find those right answers. So before we get started with the awards, I just want to say again, thank you so much for your support, your compassion, and the support of Mentor Schools and our students. So thank you very much. I thought I went through those slides pretty quick. I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was good. All right, so now, one of the things we do with this is we honor some of our business partners for the contributions they are making to our students and our community. And for our first winner, we have Climax Metal Products Company, and giving the speech for them is going to be Lauren Tuziant and Drew McKnight. So if you guys can please come on up. Yes, and also we have our superintendent, Mr. Heath, right here. So I think I told the little people about it. I called Jason Crow, our high school principal. I'm like, Jason, I need you to get up here, man. He goes, what? Joe, what's up? I'm like, I think I'm running solo on this. I'm like, Craig texted me. He said his dog got sprayed by a skunk. He doesn't know if he can make it in. And he said, even if he made it in, we don't know if we want him to sit by us. So we will, Mr. Heath will give some words. He's good now. We'll have him give some words in a little bit. At this point, Lauren and Drew, come on up.
I do have 3 dogs at home myself, but I can't beat that one. So, thanks for allowing us to be here today. Really a pleasure to be able to speak with you guys. Put a few words on paper here from one of our long-standing business partners, so it really is a pleasure to be able to recognize Climax Metal Products. So, most high school students change their minds about their future career about 15 times, and somehow in that same amount of time, Climax Metal Products has never changed their mind about partnering with us. And that's what I call commitment and maybe just a little bit of bravery on their part. In all seriousness, it's my absolute pleasure and honor to stand before you today to celebrate a truly remarkable milestone. We're here to recognize and thank one of our most valued partners, Climax Metal Products, for over 15 years of unwavering commitment and partnership with our school. For over a decade and a half, Climax Metal Products has not only been a trusted collaborator, but a true champion for our students. Through internship opportunities, mentorship, and real-world exposure, you have helped shape the future of countless young minds. Because of you, students have been able to step beyond the classroom and into the professional world with confidence, purpose, and inspiration. Your team has opened doors, literally and figuratively, and welcomed our students into environments where they could learn, grow, and discover what's possible. And in doing so, you've done more than support education, you've helped launch aspirations and careers. Over 15 years of partnership doesn't happen by accident. It happens because of shared values, dedication, and a belief in the power of education to change lives. We are so deeply grateful for your continued support, your generosity, and your belief in our students and the Marketing and Business Administration program. And so on behalf of our school community, our staff, our students, and our families, we thank you. Thank you for being more than a business partner. Thank you for being part of our story. We look forward to continuing this incredible partnership in the years ahead. And congratulations to Climax Metal Products. Thank you.
Let's see. Climax, come on up. We have a award for you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
We're going to go center of the gigantic TV screen. Craig, come on in.
I don't know if you know how me up there.
We're going to find out really quick about this.
Get out the tomato juice.
He's going to grab it. Okay, so our next partnership award winner is Menor Ridge Health and Rehabilitation Center. So if you don't know Menor Ridge, they're over up by the Cleveland Clinic Hospital, over by the Newell Creek community. And so, this one again is really kind of a testament and a microcosm of what it's like life in a city like Menor, or even a small city anywhere in Ohio, where one of the leaders of Menor Ridge also happens to be, my neighbor 2 doors down, Andrea Lawrence. And so as we do in our communities, we often just ask a little more of them than we probably should. And so with Andrea, it's great. We live actually right next to the Menor Ridge facility. So we live in Newell Creek, if you know Menor. And Andrea lives 2 doors down from us, Andrea and Keith. And once I realized that's where she worked, I was like, whoa, we could have some really good opportunities for kids. What do you think about this? And she went all in. She was like, in, what are you thinking? So we went ahead, and this was probably now 5 or 6 years ago. We toured their facilities, because there's Menor Ridge and there's also the preserve right next to it, I like to call it the fancy place. I like it. And it is fancy. And we toured it, and I said, what kind of partnerships do you think we should have? And they said, whatever you guys want. What do you want to partner on? And we went ahead and doubled down in a variety of ways. So now that is one of our best work-based learning locations for our Cardinal Works students. So our job training coordination program, our students go there. They actually have a classroom space, a break room space, and they handle a variety of things. In the hospitality industry, this is actually it's one of the ways they're able to earn their pre-apprenticeship in hospitality management. So from preparing the foods for the meals to actually doing the towels and bedding and getting everything prepared, it's been one of our best partnerships for them. But it's not just at that level. One of the things we do, and you guys, all of our partners in this room will hear from me, is I'm always like, It's about having meaningful, multiple touch point partnerships. So in addition to that, the relationships that have been built with Raquel Ingram, our allied health instructor, and the opportunities that have been provided for our allied health students. So allied health students, what happens is they earn their state-tested nursing assistant, or now it's certified nursing assistant in the state of Ohio credential. And once they do their clinicals, they are getting hired by Menor Ridge to work in that facility. But it goes so much further than that. So I kind of took it that alone would be fantastic, right? Bam, you guys are given opportunities right in our community. But Menor Ridge and the Preserve are part of a larger network that is one of the largest providers of assisted living in the state of Ohio. So when our students are going to Ohio State University or Gannon or these other locations to obtain their RN degree, they're working at these other locations that are connected to Menor Ridge. And when I found this out, it's exactly what you would hope for. Our students are getting exposed when they're in high school, earning their credential, and then moving on and progressing in their career, but earning money on the side in that profession. And so we continue to expand that annually, and we cannot be more thankful. So at this time, please join me in congratulating Menor Ridge and our business partner. Hey, thank you so much. All right, come on in. I think you guys so tall. And to put height in perspective, her kids are already taller than me. It's quite embarrassing. Cameron's in like 6th grade. I'm like, come on, man. All right. So our next award is to the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce. And with the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce, I think it's important to a lot of times, right now it's a great time to rail against the system, right? Everybody's the worst. Everybody's trying to stick it to us. But I'll tell you what, the experiences that we have had the last, 8-9 years in my role with Career Tech Education, and the support and leadership and guidance that's been provided by, at the time, Ohio Department of Education, and now Ohio Department of Education and Workforce, has been amazing. We are where we are right now in the state of Ohio in terms of expanding career tech and workforce training in ways we've never done, largely due to the work of ODEW. They have guided us throughout the process through industry credentials, through infusing college credits, and through challenging us to not take the easy way, but ask the tough questions. And I talk about that, tough questions. This is a good example, and you guys will know me, so you'll find this funny. But so we were at it was a conference down in Columbus maybe a couple months ago, and Deputy Director Varner had the opportunity to speak at it. And he was basically, we all go there, career tech administrators, and he kind of tells us, hey, this is the state of what we're doing, and these are the things we need to be doing. And he's in a spot where he challenges us. And he says, we need to rethink these things. Industry credentials are good, but we have to make sure that they're the right credentials. And are they receiving the outcomes that we want, right? So going in a room where everybody's kind of patting themselves on the back, and then having, boss come in and say, we need to do better, right? Honest, truthful statement. So that happens, he comes out, and then I go up to him after, and I'm like, man, Jeremy, that was an awesome speech. It's so great to see you. And he literally looks at me, and he's like, and there's like a group of us, and he's like, I'll tell you what, guys, I don't know a lot, But I know that guy is full of, and it was. But ultimately, and I told him, and I said, it was so funny because I'm so positive and I'm so excited all the time that it sometimes does come off as like it would be fake. But everybody who's grown to know me is like, no, he actually really is excited that they're being challenged, that they're being told they need to do better, that we can do better, that we can applaud what we're doing, but continue to move forward, right? And that's the type of guidance we need, to have leaders that are asking those type of questions. Obviously, it also does not hurt that with people like Representative Troy, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce also did give us a $2.2 million grant last year. So that surely does help. I feel they are more than deserving of this $50 award. So I would like to just thank them for their continued support and partnership and guidance. And please join me in congratulating the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce.
Why'd you stick him in the back?
I just let people go where they want to go. Hey, congratulations, Joe. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you so much. Congratulations. All right, come on up. Here we go. This is for you guys. Oh, sorry, we gotta be in front of the pit. I got that big screen there. All right.
Oh, it's me now.
No, it's all right. So now, I've been standing close to him now for the last 10 minutes. He's fine. We're good, guys. I have, for the last award, I'm going to invite our superintendent, Craig Heath. Just prior to Craig coming up here, it cannot be understated the things that we are doing in Mentor, the things that we are doing in our community is a direct result of the leadership of Craig. It has been a pleasure the last 3 years to work with him and for him to help guide this vision and to have the leadership and the humbleness to understand that it's not about a me, it's about a we. It's about he doesn't care about taking the credit. He doesn't care who's running point. He cares about the outcomes for the students and the results that we have. And when you have leadership like that, amazing things can happen. So please join me in welcoming Craig.
To quote Dr. Varner, Joe, you're full of... All right, I want to take you back to about 6:15 a.m. this morning. I'm standing in my little breakfast nook with my coffee and the breakfast of champions, a strawberry Pop-Tart. And I hear the dogs outside kind of barking. Not a strange occurrence because our dogs love to chase squirrels. We have 4 dogs at our house, all little. 3 of them are white. 1 of them is black and white with a little bit of brown on him. So I open up the sliding door and yell at Lucy, who's the one that barks all the time. I'm like, Lucy, stop it. And I see all of them kind of like pacing back and forth and like, what? Like, let's go in the house, everybody in the house. So nobody's moving. All right. I see my one dog, the only male in the group, following the one black and white dog that she's our COVID dog, so kind of a Velcro type of dog. Always has to be like right there. And she's not coming up. I'm like, what? Like, guys, in the house. And I yell for Violet. And I'm looking out there, and she's not moving at all. I'm like, what in the world's going on? And then I look down at my feet, and Violet's standing right in front of me. I'm like, okay, this can't be good. I'm yelling for the black and white dog that I see out there. Granted, I don't have my contacts in, so I wasn't very clear. Look down, there's Violet. This is not gonna end well. Then start to pick up the scent, hear one of my dogs yelping. I'm like, oh no. Immediately turn around, yell for my wife, who's still up in bed at that point, and said, I'm gonna need some help down here. And sure enough, got one little dog in, got the next little dog in. Linus comes over, who's the only boy, and his face is entirely yellow. I'm like, oh. Of course, we don't have all the ingredients, so my wife's making a trek over to Meijer, picks up some baking soda and hydrogen peroxide, and we spent the last hour and a half kind of trying to clean him up a little bit. And then another half hour trying to clean me up. So I apologize for being late. It's been an interesting morning, to say the least. But I do want to welcome all of you here. Thank you for all of your support throughout the year. We couldn't do what we do on a daily basis without all of you. I also get the privilege of announcing our last award winner. So again, tell you another little story, take you back probably about a year ago right now. We are in the middle of our final year of our athletic trainer contract with University Hospitals. So we're at that point where we have to re-up our contract with them. Sit down, start talking through some things. And not only do we want to try and continue our partnership with our athletic trainers because they do such a great job for us here in Mentor, but we started talking a little bit more about kind of the future here in Mentor schools and some of the work that we've been doing around these career academies. And Jamie is a great guy, and he says, well, what exactly are you guys thinking? We had just completed our first full year having the new weight room out at the stadium with a new entrance to the football stadium there as well. And we had our old weight room that is still sitting out there. If you're looking at it from where we are, it's kind of all the way on the right-hand side of the stadium. An older building hasn't really been touched in many years. We started talking a little bit about that facility because within the contract itself, one of the things that Jamie and the UH folks shared with us was, we'd like to help you guys update the training room in the stadium. Well, the training room in the stadium is a glorified coat closet. Pretty small, was original to the building when that was built back in the late 80s. More than likely it was state of the art back then. I'm not sure what state it's in right now, but it needed some updating. So they had talked about helping us out and supplying some money for the update of that athletic training room. Of course, I kind of like Joe, I like to dream big. And one of the things that Jamie and I started talking about a little bit was not only kind of making an impact for the athletics that we have in the athletic training room itself, but we started talking about education because that's what we're here for anyway. And we started talking these career academies, started talking about some of the interests that our students have in sports medicine, athletic training, physical therapy, occupational therapy. And I think that kind of sparked something in Jamie as well. And this is something that, again, we wanted to try and build a little bit more. So we started talking about that old weight room building and said, what if we kind of partner with this and try and build something a little bit bigger? Let's take that space, let's renovate it, make sure that we have the athletic training facilities that you guys need to service our student athletes here in Mentor. But let's look at maybe some potential classroom space that we might be able to provide an authentic learning environment for our students with maybe the creation of a sports medicine academy. Again, it was just kind of a dream back then about a year ago. Well, we're a year into it now, and we've got the money secured, we've got designs in place, and we actually have students that are now enrolled in a sports medicine academy here for next year. Again, one of the great things about this group is having some of these side conversations and you have no idea where they're going to go. Well, this is one that has really flourished. We are so thankful for the partnership with University Hospitals. So thankful for our partnership with Jamie in particular, who kind of leads that group for us. We also want to thank Joe Popley, who isn't with us here today. He's another one that we really try and tap into quite a bit with Allied Health and some of our partnerships there. But just a great partnership that is now coming to fruition with something that's going to benefit not just our student athletes, but many, many students from an education standpoint here in Mentor schools. On a side note, I also talked to Joe a little bit yesterday, and they also sponsored Joe's son's baseball team? Yeah, there you go.
Team Glaive and T-ball, guys.
So again, not only a partner for us here in Mentor Schools, but also a great partner for the Mentor community. Thank you to University Hospitals. Please come forward, Jamie, and your group.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Clicker real quick. Okay, so that was the awards. I think we are right on time. Now, here's the thing. Before we close out here, just again, going back to asking the right questions. And I think one of those, as we talked about, is why are we here? And I think that it's appropriate now at this time, can we please have any of our students that are present with us in this room today, can you please stand and be recognized? Let's congratulate them. Thank you. So that's the question of why we're here. How about how are we here? How do we actually do this? At this time, the heart and soul of Mentor Schools and our programs in our community, can our staff and faculty please stand and be recognized? Come on, staff. So why and how? And then ultimately, while we can put these in place, we know that we cannot do this ourselves. So can our business partners please stand and be recognized? That's right, all of you guys, stand up. All right. And then that covers everything. The one thing I do have to cover, because I can't go a year without acknowledging them, and this year was awesome, is that every year this always happens about a week after the AWT Robobots competition. And so this year we are joined in the back by our Nor T Again team, which was led by Alec Byram and our students. They actually won the robotics competition this past weekend, about 2 weeks ago. And in addition to that, they swept every award possible. So from design to the interviews and the documentation, they clean that up. If you guys can please stand and be recognized. Thank you very much. And for that concludes our Cardinal Connect breakfast. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Thank you.